And welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be reacting and breaking down Evil Season 2, Episode 10. O is for Ovaphobia, I think is how you say it. We're going to jump right in. In this episode, we begin with Ben and Vanessa going to see a voodoo woman. And this is the woman that we met back in episode 5, I think it was. The zombie one, the Z is for zombie. She's the one who gave, I can't remember which girl it was. It was one of Kristen's daughters and one of her friends, some hoodoo vial magic stuff to I don't know, break the spell that was on her dad or whatever. I don't know. That woman. Ben agrees to do this as long as Vanessa agrees to talk to Kristen if and when this visit to the voodoo lady doesn't work. Okay. The voodoo lady works her mojo, and as far as she and Vanessa are concerned, Vanessa has been freed from her sister. They are separated, okay? As was the goal. So, later on, back at Vanessa's, she and Ben are snuggling and talking. He wants her to go talk to Kristen, right? And she's like, I'm fine. It's fine. It worked. We're separated. Like, it's fine. Like, you know, what's her name? Maggie is gone. I think it's Maggie. Maggie's gone. But she rubs the wrong arm. I think it was the left arm originally, and she was like, you know, rubbing her right arm. And Ben points this out to her. Yeah. She gives him like this whole look and whatever, and he just sort of, you know, brushes it aside. But there's they do that a lot. There's you know, pointings to things, and everybody just sort of pretends to not acknowledge it or to not notice it, or they do and just sweep it aside, ignore it, and it'll go away. Is sort of the theme to these people. It drives me nuts. On another night, when Ben goes over, you know, they have some sexy time, and Vanessa leaves the room, right? Goes into the kitchen or something. She's gonna get, I don't know, food or whatever. Get ready for round 2. And while she's away, Ben's phone rings, and he answers it. And I believe the call waiting said it was Vanessa. So he answers the phone, you know, and he's thinking it's her in the other room. Like, ha, 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 you're so funny. Like, you know, get back in here. I'm ready for round 2, right? And on the other end, you know, this voice is like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, you know, she was coming back from somewhere. So, like, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, she was confused. He was confused. And then, you know, the Vanessa in the kitchen comes back into the room. And at some point, you know, Ben's phone, whoever's on Ben's phone hangs up. And then they call back. And, you know, the girl takes the phone and, is that my sister? And she takes the phone and they're talking, yeah, I'm with Ben right now, la, 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 la. And, you know, gives the phone back to Ben. She's like, my sister sounds pissed. He is still not catching on that this is Maggie. This is Maggie. He has not been making out with his Vanessa girlfriend. He has been getting it in with Maggie. and he just refuses to let that sink in, you know? It's like, nope, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. Whatever. Meanwhile, the team's investigation into RMS fertility is going full steam ahead, although it seems it's doing so without the blessing of the church. They don't seem to have the church's backing whatsoever. And for now, at least, it would seem they are starting things with using Kristen's connection with the fertility clinic to sort of get the ball rolling, right? Because she's already got a rapport there. She's got a file there. Like, she has her own little in, right? However, the more that they learn about the clinic, the less Kristen seems to be sharing with Ben and David, right? However, they do meet a woman who has a very similar experience with her daughter that Kristen is having with Lexi, right down to the teeth thing. Like, she describes the whole dental issue and everything, right? And she's not very good at hiding her interest in this. Like, she literally sits up taller in her chair and like leans forward, and I'm honestly not sure if the guys are truly not noticing this, or if, like with Ben and Vanessa, they're seeing this and just choosing to completely ignore it. It is an epidemic in this show. I swear to God. And poor Lexi in this show, oh, this sweet little thing. She is so sweet and she's so cute. She's going through so much. She's having major confidence issues. She's afraid to discuss her teeth, as is Kristen. Kristen's afraid to have that conversation too. And because of meeting this other mother, she knows it's not a one-off thing, right? I mean, there's two children of, different parents with the exact same dental issue. And I almost forgot. Apparently, Lexi has a tail now. They show it first. I believe they were doing, they were buying outfits because girls and shopping, right? And they show her in the change room and you see like a tail. I thought it was something in her head, quite frankly, but it shows it again later, and the poor thing has a tail. She's like a lizard. Fangs, like snake fangs, I'm thinking now, and a frickin' tail. Yep. They come to find that Leland has something to do with the fertility clinic. Kristen goes into the clinic and she ends up confronting the head lady that's running the joint, right? Because she finds out that she's got like 12 eggs in cryo-freeze at this place. And there's an account that she had when she was obviously like a patient there. You have to pay for the service. But she hasn't paid anything since having Lexi, right? But she comes to find out that she does still have an account there. She does in fact still have eggs on ice there, and her account is still being paid. But they won't tell her by who. She's assuming her husband, and they're like, no. And she's like, well, who the fuck else would be doing it? And they won't tell her. It's sacred information. It's private. They can't tell her, right? And she's like, it's my fucking account. Like, it's my account. It's my eggs. They're like, it's all mine. It's all me. It's all about me. So she has it out with this lady. This doctor, this head doctor, and goes so far as to say, like, I will see you in court. Like, girl. The idea being to get her wound up so that they could follow her and see where she goes, right? Well, they do, right? Kristen leaves, and like leaves, right? So it's the boys, it's Ben and David that follow this doctor, and they follow her to Leland's apartment building. Then we move on to Cheryl. Cheryl gets convinced by Leland to go to this influencer party, they call it, right? And for whatever reason, she's fine with it, right? Like, she's leery, like she's keeping an eye on him, kind of. But she's like, yeah, fuck it, let's go, right? Like, he has a way of convincing her to, come out and play. It's kind of weird. So she goes to the party, and he sort of pimps her out to this guy named Edward. At the party, yeah, her and Edward sort of hit it off, and they're having a great old time, whatever. He ends up convincing her to meet up again, but with Leland this time. And they have a few drinks on the couch together. This is her and Edward. And he offers to get her another drink. He's giving her a foot rub on the couch, and she's very comfortable and dozy. And, he offers her another drink. And she says, listen, if I have another drink, I'm going to pass out. Like, I'm going to go to sleep, right? He eventually takes out this great big needle and injects it into her, right? He says to her, like, if you, out of the blue, right? If you had to stand up right now, could you? And she comes to find that she can't move. He takes out this ginormous needle and injects her. I think it was behind her knee. I don't remember now, but he gives her this injection, and Leland comes out with chocolate-covered strawberries. Like, Leland. And she just looks absolutely terrified. I don't like this character, Cheryl. I don't like the character of Cheryl. But the actress really, truly acts her ass off in this particular episode, because it's all facial acting. She's paralyzed. And the look of sheer terror that is on this woman's face is just, she acts her ass off. So they end up taking Cheryl and putting her on the floor in this apartment, okay? Edward lays down beside her and holds her hand, and he also gets an injection. And it looks like a bloodletting. Like they were taking out some of each of their blood. I don't know what was happening. It was weird. But also hidden in the back somewhere, wrapped up in, I don't know, cloth of some sort, black cloth, was the lady who ran the fertility clinic. And it's never mentioned again in the episode. It's a quick little, Leland's like, whatever, says something to her and walks out because they're dealing with Cheryl right now. It was nuts. It was nuts. But the next that we see Cheryl, she's great. She's happy. She looks very healthy. She actually looks better than she's looked in a couple of episodes. And she's singing and jumping around and whatever. She's going to go play tennis with Edward, man. Like, it's yeah. I don't know what that was all about. I have no idea. The fertility doc is wrapped in some sort of cocoon, as I said. Yeah, it's really kind of confusing. I have no idea what's going on with that. And I don't know what was going on with it looked like a blood transfusion of some sort, but I don't know. It wasn't clear. I have no idea. And that's pretty much the episode this week. It was quick. It was quick and dirty, man. It was quick and dirty. So there's not much going on with David in this one. This one is really more about Kristen and her mom and Ben and Vanessa, really, and sort of whatever's going around with them, right? So with Kristen, it's like Kristen and her mom and Lexi and the fertility clinic, right? And with Ben, it's the fertility clinic, Vanessa, Maggie, and Voodoo. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And some weird bloodletting donation, transfer, whatever. I don't know. Cocoons. Who knows, man? Who knows? It was a good episode. It was just, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about, but a lot happened. Like, I am more honestly concerned with Lexi. That poor child. Oh my God. Like, does she really have the tail, or is that something that's for some reason in her subconscious because of the teeth? Like, I don't know. You know? And I mean, I liked the talk that Kristen has with her about body image and self-confidence and self-love and acceptance and all that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful talk. She does a really good job with it, I feel. Because Lexi's been watching this influencer that we saw a little while back. She was involved with that incel kid that did the thing. So Lexi's watching her, and of course she's going on about, you're too heavy if your thighs are rubbing together. You're overweight, right? So to stop that whooshy whooshy sound of your legs rubbing together, wrap saran wrap around your thighs. Like, fucking come on. Right? There was something else, but her mom talks to her about it and explains to her about, proper lighting when filming, which I obviously don't do. Not an influencer. Sorry, not sorry. Proper lighting and camera angles and what's that? Photoshop. I almost said photo touch. Photoshop, all that kind of stuff, right? It was a really good moment between the two. I appreciated it. Considering everything else that was going on, it was a very nice, down-to-earth moment. A very relatable moment, it was nice. It was really nice. But I feel for this little girl so much. Oh my God, this poor little thing. And she's so sweet, and she's so cute. Like, oh my goodness. Anyways, I did enjoy this episode. I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. It's a bit of a train wreck. Sorry. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, do go watch it for yourself. I always recommend watching the full version of the show without my commentary. Where you can watch it is always in the description. I tend to watch it on what is it? It's like a Soap Today or one of those type of sites. But it's on pretty sure it's on Shudder. No, it's not on Shudder, because if it was on Shudder I could watch it on there. I have Shudder. I think it's like for paid, on like for rent or something on Prime. I don't know. It's in the description, but I always recommend going and watching it without my commentary. It was a very good show. And I never give the full details of every single thing that happens in the episode. So I recommend watching it. Do it justice and watch the whole thing. Anyways, I'm going to go. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you in the next one.